This video is going to be a direct update to the last video I made about the YouTube pedophile problem. It's going to be more fleshed out and in detail, so if you haven't watched the first one, I suggest watching that before coming to this one. Since then, a lot has happened, so I wanted to update it and expand on what we already know from the initial problem. So I'm going to split this video up into 3 segments. More evidence and how predators use this site, what we can do as a community to stop these predators, and what can be done in the future to keep YouTube a place free of pedophiles. I also want to note that a lot of the things I'm going to be talking about today comes from a Discord that I joined called Academy Awareness, and I'll be talking about them throughout the video. So jumping right into the first part, to recap the problem from the last video, predators are using YouTube to find children doing live streams to coerce them into doing sexual acts. Whether that be a ballerina challenge where they ask the kid to put the camera on the floor to show their feet, obviously for foot fetish purposes, or whether it be a stick out your tongue as far as you can for 30 seconds challenge, obviously to simulate the sexualized ahego face that has been popularized. When I found that challenges like these and other sexual acts were asked in these children live streams, I went and made my initial video. And from that video, I was asked to join a Discord, Academy Awareness, where I found a lot more evidence and other tactics that predators use to try and manipulate kids into doing these acts. So right now I'll be going through all these tactics that these predators use while also showing evidence that I found through this Discord and just by going in live stream. Keep in mind, anything I were to have found like footage wise, I'm never going to be showing like an actual kid doing anything. Didn't come across any of that. But some of the text that you read is going to be very graphic and disturbing. I didn't want to just hide away from the more graphic stuff because I need people to know that this is an actual real problem and to actually spread awareness on it rather than think that it's just internet trolls. So starting off, I said in the last video that if you were to type in slime and look for live streams, that's how you'd find these kids. But you could also look up tags such as bored, hey, hi, join, challenges, and other childlike things. In addition to the kind of things I showed in the last video, there were other tactics that kind of scared me even more that these predators are using. The first one I'm going to call mod baiting. Now for those who don't know, when you have a live stream, you can choose someone in your chat to become a moderator. And with being a moderator, you have powers such as deleting other people's comments. Essentially what a predator will do is he'll join a live stream, gain the child's trust, promise them likes and subscribers, and then ask them to be a moderator. If they're made moderator, anybody who comments and tries to say like this person is bad, you shouldn't listen to this person, the predator can then delete their comments so the child does not see them. This essentially causes a one-on-one stream between the predator and the child. Having that one-on-one connection leads into another thing that I saw, which is even scarier. As I stated before, to find these streams, you could usually type something like slime, bored, or hey, or whatever, and you could find them if you just look in the live category. But what happens if you cannot find a stream and the only person in there is the predator? A lot of times when I go into a stream, I'll see a predator say something like, I'm going to give you money, or I'm going to give you a lot of subscribers and likes if you end this stream right now and start up a new stream with a silly title like a bunch of random numbers or a bunch of random letters. What this essentially does is it hides the stream from anybody who is trying to find it through normal search tactics, leaving basically only the predator and anyone who's subscribed to that channel. This means that the predator theoretically has complete control over just this connection between them two. It doesn't get reported, it doesn't get taken down, and if he were to go farther, he could do something like threaten them if they don't adhere to their commands. And this leads me to the final and possibly scariest tactic that I found out these predators use on YouTube. Having one predator with the ability to get a one-on-one conversation with the kid is bad enough, but imagine if there were plenty of them interconnected in some sort of way. This is where the term pedophile channels come into play. Now, pedo whale channels are essentially a channel or a group of channels, all owned by pedophiles, that will either use liked playlists or other forms of playlists, or just different types of communication between them to basically threaten kids into doing what they want. I'll let this video by investigating YouTube kind of explain what that means.
We use the term whale because it provides pedophiles with a massive catalog and archive of content and often uses its size to further persuade children to do perverted acts with the promise of fame and recognition.
If a child being groomed happens to refuse the requests of the pedo whales, the results are often devastating for the targeted child, with mass unsubscribing and disliking that hurts the child's self-esteem, embarrasses them, and causes anxiety. As we all know, kids growing up today often seek gratification and attention through social media and through the likes and subscribers they can receive.
As an example of a pedo whale channel, he mentions Tandy Fake, and that seems to be the only one I could really find right now that is still active and hasn't been deleted yet. The specific Tandy Fake channel has its own list of playlists of just explicit content, such as young girls doing gymnastics in bathing suits, just dancing, just all around things that if you're an innocent person, you wouldn't sexualize, but when it's specifically on a channel for pedo whales, you know it is. And then you have other channels like Tandy O Retorno, which actually went ahead and made a live stream so that they could take their subscribers and essentially find a new platform for them to talk, which was Telegram. Telegram is a messenger that really boasts the fact that it's encrypted, the data can self-destruct, it's secure, things like that. If you'd go to his discussion page, you'd see people that missed the live stream and wants to get that information. And so when you couple all the tactics that I had talked about previously about getting a one-on-one conversation with a kid, and then add in multiple pedophiles that have a ring of communication, these are the kind of tactics you get. So now the question is, what can we do to stop these predators? And the obvious answer would be, let YouTube handle it. Tell them the problem and let them handle it. But there's a couple things wrong with that, and we'll talk about that in the third part of what to do in the future. But for right now, what can the community do? Well, for starters, the obvious explanation would be to flag these channels, flag these videos, and get YouTube to take them down. The problem with that is that YouTube prioritizes channels and videos that are mass flagged rather than just one or two. This means that channels that have a lot of haters and trolls, things like Lele Pons, obviously they're going to get mass flagged more than a live stream that doesn't get many views at all. So the first step is getting more people who are willing to flag as many of these videos and live streams and channels as possible. So if any of you interested, I'd suggest joining the Discord that I talked about, Academy Awareness. I'll put it right here and in the description. Basically what we do is we shed light to these channels and different live streams and stuff like that and mass report them as much as we can. The more people that are on there and willing to join these live streams and report these channels and videos and stuff like that, the more likely that there will be a decrease in these live streams and predators and hopefully deter them from using YouTube as their, source. The second step is obviously sharing this information, because the more people that know about it, the more likely a bigger channel or someone with influence at YouTube is going to bring light to it. And that leads me to the third part of what can actually be changed on this platform to prevent these predators from exploiting the system. Now, something I mentioned in the last video was the fact that YouTube has certain privileges such as monetization and custom thumbnails that are locked behind a subwall of 1,000 subscribers, but live streaming you can do at any time with any new channel. And the thing that I suggested was putting live streaming under that subwall as well. The obvious problem with that though is that up and coming streamers aren't going to have the ability to unless they already have an established audience. So how does YouTube combat predators while also not pissing off the small live streaming community? Well, it's pretty simple. YouTube just needs to be honest. Let's face it, when you look at these videos that are obviously sexualizing kids, and you look at how many views it has and the comments that it has, it gives you a sense of scale on how big of a problem pedophilia is in the world. Every single social media that's ever going to be on the internet is always going to have a problem with predators. It's sad to say that, the stereotypes of old, that there are strangers online, are true, but they are true. One thing that all corporations lack is honesty. They can't be honest because if they're honest about these problems, they're gonna mess something up with their shareholders or advertisements or stuff like that. This problem could very much be another adpocalypse where advertisers pull out their ads because of a controversy. They need to stop this before something genuinely horrible happens. And as bad as it is to say about, small live streamers, The fact of the matter is, if they'd make this change and they're even the slightest bit honest about it, I think people would understand. YouTube doesn't need to admit that they have an active pedophile problem, but they should admit the potential for something much worse than is already going on. These examples that I gave you did not come from weeks upon weeks of research and, really finding these guys. It took from a small group of people that, just look on these live streams. So before something even more horrible than has already been showed happens, YouTube needs to make a change. We need to share these kind of problems with the community so that they know, and we just have to be active as a community to try and stop this issue. As I said in my last video, this channel is made for fun and just happy goofing around comedy type things, so I hope this can be my last update on the issue. But when you fall down the rabbit hole of these problems, you can't just sit by, see it happen, and not try and use your platform for, actually sharing it. So like I said, the Discord's right here and in the description if you want to join and actively look for these pedophiles. We need to share this video to YouTube and everything like that, and I just trying to spread awareness. So that's all I had to say, and I hope this is my final update on it. I'll be in the background, kind of obviously looking more and spreading this video. So, see ya.